Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Rachel Freeman Sowers live show. I am so excited about tonight. Deb is over in the waiting room while I'm going to introduce her, so I will have her on in just a minute. And Deb, just so you know, all of your friends are logging on and commenting. There's Mark, there's Jean. They're just all coming to support you. So I'm so happy. As you know, this is the go-to show for female entrepreneurs who are really looking to leverage the full power of video in their businesses. And occasionally, I love to bring on just really fabulous female entrepreneurs to share the work that they're doing because I am inspired by them. And tonight's guest is absolutely no exception to that rule. We have hung out together for a while. She's been with me from the very beginning of Rachel Freeman Sowers. And she started with me a long time ago. And I just thought, it is time to have her on this show. So I'm going to go ahead and read her bio to you so that I don't leave out any of the good, juicy parts about Deb Peel. Okay, so Deb Peel is a hiker, writer, Alzheimer's advocate, and women's hiking and backpacking mentor at the Hike for Harvey. She specializes in bringing women age 50 plus to the trail as confident, prepared new hikers, whether that's for a day, a backpacking overnight, or hiking with a group. And if you've been reading the copy, I just want to let you know that Deb is my go-to speed dial when I want to go hiking. So please give me thumbs up, say hi in the comments to Deb Peel. Hey.
Hey, great to see you.
It is so, well, it's so great to have you on here. And so for those of you that don't know, I've already said that Deb and I have known each other for quite some time now. It is years on the books. And I actually called her, it wasn't now last 2 weekends ago, 1 weekend ago. I can't ever remember. If you go on her page, Hike for Harvey page, or the Rachel Freeman Sowers Facebook page, you will see a video there that we did. We went hiking. I called or I texted Deb earlier in the week. And I said, hey, I want to go hiking on Friday. Will you go with me? Because as confident and extroverted or whatever as Rachel Freeman Sowers, me, as I am not really always that comfortable going hiking on my own. So I thought I am going to text Deb and say, listen, will you go? And I was just crossing my fingers that you were available. So thank you so much for going with me that day. So before we dive in, why don't you tell us a little bit about you and your business and your passion, this passion you have?
Sure. I'm a writer. I've been a writer since childhood. It's definitely one of my passions, one of my gifts. And I have found a way to combine that with my other lifelong joy, which is hiking. So I founded the annual Hike for Harvey when I took my very first backpacking trip at age 55. To honor my dad, Harvey Wallace, after he passed from Alzheimer's disease. And the Hike for Harvey has evolved into a public hike where other folks can just register the miles or the number of steps they walk, no cost. It's moving into an Alzheimer's fundraiser, more about that later, and into mentoring services for budding backpackers or women who just need to get out for a day hike and need somebody to assist them in doing that.
And I think that is like that is the thing I'm excited about the most. I mean, again, I love the passion about Alzheimer's and of course not discounting that at all. But there are so many women out there that I know that are looking for a guide, right?
Yeah, for sure.
So when we went on this hike, we were talking about that. And that's really what brought on the show. I was like, hey, you need to come on the show and we need to talk about this because your motto is empowering women to hike for health, healing, and happiness.
That's right.
And really how much I love nature. And yet sometimes it holds me back. So when we were hiking, we were talking about safety. And one of the things that I wanted to make sure that the audience got tonight is like, what are your 3 top tips for staying safe on the trail if you're a solo hiker?
Yeah. A lot of women have bona fide fears about getting out there solo. But some of the things you can do is to be prepared. Make sure you take appropriate items with you. Carry at least a day pack, and for backpacking, of course, a nice pack that is fitted to your body. They're actually in different sizes, and you can go to a pro shop and for no charge get fitted for a pack that's comfortable. You want to bring in your pack some basic first aid. You don't want to be caught out there without an ace bandage and some band-aids and that kind of thing. And carry a little Ziploc baggie. You don't want, I think, some big heavy first aid kit is not what we're talking about. So the other thing is to make sure you dial in a good footwear system. Your feet are your secret weapons on the trail. And whether that's hiking boots or trail runners, whatever works for you, you have to try those out and find out what works. But you definitely want to stay away from cotton socks. You're going to need some wool wicking socks. I know that sounds hot, but it's not. They're really nice and soft and comfortable these days. And they keep your feet from being a sweaty mess, and sweat equals blisters that kick you off the trail. So be prepared.
So one of the things that one of the stories you told me while we were hiking was when you were hiking on a trail and you passed a person, a gentleman, and you were on your own. So tell me, just give a little brief recap of that story and what you did to kind of be like, oh, hey.
Yeah, you should definitely have all your senses intact. You don't want to have your earbuds in listening to music, etc. You want to focus on the trail, all the sights and sounds and smells. And to note when you're coming across somebody up the trail. And that day I happened to come across somebody when I was about 5-6 miles out. Looked a little sketchy. He didn't have the typical hiker gear on. And so one of the first things you can do is carrying a cell phone, right? Whip it out. And if you're in service, connect with somebody and be on the phone, have a chat, or just pretend you are. Always be friendly to other hikers. Greet them and breeze on by. Hike at warp speed, 3 miles an hour, whatever you have to do to put some distance. But be friendly. Everybody deserves a hey, how are you today? And one of the things I always do for safety, whether it's because it's very, very minimal, 99% of the time, any issues you're going to have with critters on the trail, that's not the human kind, but you could come across animals or something like that. And you want to know some tips for avoiding them too, because they really want to avoid you. They should want nothing to do with you. But ultimately, what if you slipped? What if you hurt yourself? My number one safety tip is invest in a satellite communication device, because that cell phone isn't always going to connect. And so I have my little Garmin InReach Mini that is always attached to my pack strap. And with one push of the SOS button, you are connected to search and rescue. For whatever reason, you need to get in contact with someone. This could absolutely save your life. It's an investment in your safety. And there's a variety of these. There's the InReach Mini, there's a Spot. They come in a variety of costs also, but that's why I say it's an investment in your safety, whether it's a sketchy individual or an accident out there. You definitely want satellite communication.
Yeah, and I think one of the things that you said when you passed that person, you just said, hey, someone's coming back, someone else is coming up the trail too. Right.
True. That is true. Whether it's the truth or a little fib, it's always good to say, hey, a couple of hikers behind me, my people are just behind me, so they never think you're out there alone.
Right. So I like that really clicked with me on something that you could do. I think the other thing that you're bringing up, and I know that the cost of those little Garmins, they range, and it is an investment, but it just reminds me of the time my dad was riding his bike when not that long ago, and he had a stroke and he couldn't he didn't know how to get back home. And those are where those little devices can really come in handy. Like you're saying, if you fall, if you hurt yourself, you have that kind of safety. So yes, it may cost a lot, but it's your life, or like, let's just say $150 to $300. And, what's it really worth, right?
Well, in addition, it's a safety device, but it's also peace of mind, not for you, but for all those people who really love you and have genuine concerns about you hiking solo or with a buddy or even in a group. this allows you to text back and forth with them and let them know where you are, how you're doing, or, which has happened to me, when you have to have a change in plan and reroute. People really appreciate being able to stay in touch with you.
So true. Like, all right, so if you are watching right now, I would love to hear which one of these tips have like clicked with you and you're like, oh, hey, that's something I'm going to make sure that I have or make sure that I do before I hit the trail the next time. Let us know in the comments. So I want to talk a little bit about, have you used video? How do you use video in your business? Because you're not only passionate and fired up, I guess, about Alzheimer's awareness and helping find a cure for Alzheimer's, but you're also passionate about something else. So tell me about your business and you as an entrepreneur.
Yeah, I am super passionate about helping other women get the gifts of the trail that have meant so much for me, kind of doing a major reset in my life that has led to a lot of health, healing, and happiness. And I just want to give that away to anybody who wants it. So I have some services available. I have the Harvey Girls Introduction to Backpacking, which is really gearing up, getting your feet wet out there, and even going for an overnight with me, Deb Peel. Not so scary. Not so scary when you have a partner. Yeah. And then for those who just are thinking about, dreaming about getting out for a day hike and they're fearful, or their loved ones are fearful about them getting out there, I can help them kind of ramp up with some fitness and some tips and go out for a day hike and then eventually get into a small group, COVID-friendly, socially distanced hike. Hiking's a great thing to be doing during these times for your health, and it's safe. We're out in the outdoors. You don't have to be next to each other to have a great time on the trail. And so I was just going to say, so, the Hike for Harvey has really evolved from an honor hike to an annual hike to services to empower women and get them out to the trail with safety and confidence.
So how would you then, because you of all people know I love video, and then I can't resist. When we were out hiking, I was like, oh, you could do a video about this. You could do a video about that. You could do a video about this. And we even took that picture where you're crossing the creek and you're like, oh, what's wrong with this picture? And really like that kind of education. So how can you imagine using video in your business to help women, empower women to hike for health, healing, and happiness? How do you see that working into your business plan?
Yeah, I think you've given me some tremendous insights to some coaching I could do through video on simple things like how to filter your water, how to lace your boots properly, all the how-tos, but also the inspirational. Look at this amazing view. Look where I am. Yes. You could be right here with me or on your own. You could be hiking for health, healing, and happiness right now. Absolutely. And so with video, I think I can definitely empower women, educate, help them build skill, knowledge. And I'm excited about integrating more of that into the Hike for Harvey.
Yeah, well, what many of you don't know is that Deb and I already have a plan. So when these videos start popping up on her feed, I want you to know that this is her really showing how passionate she is about helping women and empowering women and just people in general too, to get on the trail for health, healing, and happiness. So I just want to read a couple of these comments here in Deb, because I'm not sure if you can see them or not, but Marcia says, I travel, hike, etc. Marcia Ramstrom, alone all the time. I will be buying myself one of those Garmin communication devices. Yes. This is the power of video. This is why I love the RFS live show, because people come on here, and whether they watch it now or whether they're going to watch the recording today, 6 months from now, a year from now, because video will be around still then. This is the power of this kind of helping other people. Heather says, would Deb lead a group of 8 to 12 for an overnight hike? Heather, what you want to do is go to the Hike for Harvey Facebook page, DM, message Deb, and she will set you up for that.
Absolutely.
Looking forward to the videos. Okay, so I would love to talk a little bit about what is coming up next, because there's some opportunities for all of you who want to support female-owned small businesses, because that's what I am, that's what Deb is, and that's what we're here doing together, is collaborating and supporting each other, which is the number one thing. What's coming up next?
Yeah, for me, the biggie that's coming up next is 100 Miles for Harvey. And that's my longest day fundraiser for the Alzheimer's Association. And I've chosen to do that because we need to fund more research, resources, and caregiver supports for families who are living with Alzheimer's, or just getting through that rocky journey. And we definitely want to get to the day where we have our first survivor. So I'm going to be hiking 100 miles for Harvey with my hiking partner and a friend, Christine Fuema-Ono, and I've been mentoring her. We went out and did a gear shop last weekend at REI Medford, getting her ready for the trail. And we're looking for people to support us, and that's through a donation. And we need donations to cheer us down the trail and help us end Alzheimer's, help it give a big kick in the butt with our hiking boots. And so I'm asking people to go to act.alts.org/go/100 miles for Harvey. And that's where you can donate and sponsor our 100-mile journey.
And so is that link on your Hike for Harvey Facebook page?
It is.
That's a pretty long link.
It's a really long link. Basically, you have to remember 100 miles for Harvey, but check out Hike for Harvey on Facebook or Instagram, and you'll find that link, and occasional posts that will guide you to that link.
The other thing too is that is where you can ask Deb to get on her emailing list to, if you want to know, especially for, all of you women out there who are looking to know about her services, who want to go on a guided hike, who want to participate in that and support her small business, you can just message her through there, but you can get on your email list so you know when these services are exactly rolling out, and you can contact her just like Heather is going to, if you have a special group that you want to take or do something like that. And I don't know if you know this, Deb, but and I don't know how many of you know this about me. If you do know this about me, put yes in the comments. But I, for a very long time, worked in an Alzheimer's care unit. So I was specially trained to work with Alzheimer's clients. And I can tell you that, more and more now, and I think we were talking before the show, we were talking about how women are being highly impacted by Alzheimer's. And really, one of my most favorite places in the world is out in nature. And that is so good for your mental health. It's so good for your brain. There's like so many benefits. It's like, why not get out and hike like now? Like, don't wait until this, don't wait until that. Contact Deb, see what she's got on for her plans in the future for doing some organized hikes for women, and get on the roster. That's exactly what you're wanting to do. So we have these 100 miles. Is it 100 miles for all? Say it again.
It's 100 miles for Harvey, and that's my fundraiser for Alzheimer's. There's also the free Hike for Harvey, June through September, for anybody who wants to hike their own hike. And just contribute their miles, and that's the unity that says we're crying out to end this. That will be announced on the Hike for Harvey Facebook page as well. And we really want to tackle this because there's 6 million Americans living with Alzheimer's right now, and 3.5 million of them are women, just like you and me. And we could do better. And we need to march down that trail and find an end.
Okay, so I'm going to ask the people that are watching, because I see some comments here. Let me know if you have any questions for Deb in these last few minutes. If you're a female entrepreneur who is learning to really leverage the fullest power of video in your business, I would love to speak with you. You can reach out to me at rachelfreemansowers.com. There's a sign up link there to have a free 20-minute consultation with me. I just really want, Mark says I want a Hike for Harvey shirt.
Coming. We'll have them by May.
This is exactly why you want to send Deb a message with your email. And I can't tell you how grateful I am that you're willing to come on here, because when Deb and I first met, if I had told her I wanted her to be on video, she would have been like, girl, nah. She'd be like, oh, no, I'm not. Like, thank you so much, Rachel. She'd be so kind about it and she'd be happy. And I'd be like, Deb, come on, let's do it. And so I just want to tell you, like, thank you so much for honoring me and witnessing your growth and everything that you've just exploded. I remember when we first met and you're like, I want to be alive with fire. I want to be passionate about something. I want to write for a living. I want to honor my father. And literally in just a few years, you are doing everything you said and more.
It's true. What a transition, what an evolution. And I write to hike, I hike to write, and I rock that every day.
So this is where mentorship comes in too, ladies. Like mentorship for getting on the trail, mentorship for increasing your business. The reason I want to help Deb with video is because I want more and more people to know what she is doing to make this massive positive impact in the world. That's what video can do in an instant. So be on the lookout for those videos that are going to be on Deb's page. And then, of course, I'm sharing them on mine. And so I don't see any more questions. And I just want to say thank you so much, Deb, again, for coming on here. And what I say, I'll just say what I say at the end of every single video. To everyone out there, make sure to stay true to yourselves, be kind to others, and always, always, always honor the wise one that is within you. I will see you all next week on the Rachel Freeman Hours Live Show. I'll talk to you then. Bye.